I'm Gene Groves. I'm married to Jan Groves, and we are lucky enough to be the parents of a wonderful girl named Amy Groves Lowe. It's important for me to say that we're a UHS LSU family. My wife and I both went to LSU. We met there. We graduated there. I decided I'd go to law school. My wife used her LSU degree to put me through law school. We have 3 children, Amy, Will, and Susanna, and all 3 of them went to U-High. We have 2 grandchildren, Rebecca and Charlotte, and they're both at U-High now.
I've taught many wonderful kids. Amy was one that stood out among many others. She was a quiet leader, always worked so very hard, so self-motivated and mature, cute as a bug. She would, her smile was infectious. Just a really sweet young lady who was the type that you love to have in your class. Amy was in my 10th grade class, and that was a class that we spanned different genres of literature. So we read novellas, we read Julius Caesar, and they acted it out. Many times the kids would walk in not really liking English. So it was my goal to not only get them to learn, but get them to appreciate literature. They wrote a lot. I also was a believer in having them learn about proper usage. We had vocabulary tests. We had spelling tests, particularly of words that were commonly misspelled, so we covered the gamut. She refined her skills that she first developed in school as she went through college and into law school, and now as a very successful attorney.
Amy and I happen to be the only father-daughter winners of the moot court competition at LSU in the history of the law school. She likes civil litigation and I like civil litigation, so we're both civil litigators. Her psychology degrees help her because they give her a specialty in jury selection, which is tremendously helpful. And so she picks juries for lawyers in our firm, for me, for her, lawyers outside of our firm. But the best thing about the whole thing is that her office is right next door to mine.
I knew my kids at U-High were 100% college bound. So we did everything we could as teachers to prepare them. And then when they got into college and were successful and then went on to whatever postgraduate work they did, careers they did. With Amy, for example, she has had such a successful career in all phases. And a successful career, she learned about community work when she was in high school, and now she is so very giving, selfless, giving of herself to our community here, that building block at U-High, lab school in general, is such an important step that Amy took. And she is the type of student that schools rest their reputations on.
When Amy was Cub Club president, we had the flood of 2016. And I remember one particular story where there was a family who had lived somewhere else and had just moved to Baton Rouge right before the flood, and they were wiped out. And they were so grateful because the Cub Club sought them out, found them, helped them. And I remember the man saying, in the place where we used to live, people would pray for you and that'd be pretty much it. But here, people would pray for you and they'd bring you things. They'd bring you food, they'd bring you clothing, they'd bring you blankets, they'd bring you water, they'd bring you things that you need. And all of that was done by volunteers that were organized by Amy. She's Girl Scout leader. She's has her own Bible study she does in her house. She has her Sunday school. She's a Sunday school teacher. She is generous. She's kind. In the courtroom, she's a pit bull, and very aggressive about representing her client's interests. Once she comes out of the courtroom, she's as sweet as she can be. She's a great mother. She's a great daughter. She's a great sister. She's a great wife. She's as beautiful inside as she is outside. And I can't say enough things about her. I love her so much, and thank you so much for the opportunity to come in here today and talk about Amy.